Great and beautiful morning, afternoon, and evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this hour. Yes, welcome to 258th edition of Investdata Trading Academy Live with Ambrose. Yes, welcome back from the holiday, May Day, and I believe that we all had rest. Those here in Nigeria, I know that other markets across the globe was open yesterday, but today our market is resuming here, and we join our good traders in other markets to look at what is happening in this market as we speak now. And I'll tell you that the global market also is opening on a flattish note, and while some are just eating into red and green. But generally, market across the globe is flat as we speak now. And I will tell you why this market is flat is because of one, Fed meeting is underway tomorrow with the meeting of Fed, and not only that, the results that came to the market were impressive. But if you look at macroeconomic data that were released in the month of April, these data were missed, and because they were missed, they also influencing market decision in this new month. Yes, you know that April was really a dicey month for the global market. Yes, so that we saw positive some consumer price index that are looking good, trying to slow down. Some are looking start contention, which is good. But also other economic data like purchasing power, consumer confidence index, we saw that yes, they were not in the same direction because most of them are becoming weak. And to crown it all, we saw the GDP figure for first quarter for the largest global economy, which is US, and that was almost half below what was forecasted. All analysts in that environment were looking at 2%, but they saw 1.1% in terms of what in terms of GDP. That checked the psyche of the market players to see where are they heading to, what is behind this factor, and they all point out the continued rate hike for almost more than a year now has also contributed to this mind economic recession was seen in US, and for that all eyes and what on Fed decision on what to do. But it's already kind of determined or forecast that Fed is likely to do 25 basis points in their tomorrow meeting that will that will for their in their policy meeting tomorrow. But the thing is here is that after tomorrow, are they going to go into policy normalization to kind of support the economy? Yes, we saw a labor figure also for that period looking at a bit also dicey in that environment. But these are what consumers and businesses around the world. Because I told you earlier in this class that whatever happened in US has a way of trickling down to other economy because most of them benchmark activities in US in other economy. For that, what happened there as a world having a spiral effect, positive or negative to other markets. On that note, investors are looking at what is going to happen. But the good thing is that in the midst of all this, we saw that Q1 number in this environment, another European one, was more than expected. They beat the expectation of what investors. If you look at the trend that's all in 2021, 2022, 2023, first quarter result, I'm telling you, we came up powerfully from major companies, especially those big financial institutions in this matured economy. It's a sign that if you are seeing a positive earnings, and also it's a clear pointer that it is time for what for investors in this market, even out down here, to start looking at what taking position, because when we are seeing a rising earnings, what comes with it is a rising what price. When you also see a declining what earnings, what comes follow that what is a declining price. You can see this, but in mature economy like US now, as I told you earlier, they've seen that numbers that came even with all these missed macroeconomic data and the headwinds that were around for the first 3 months of the year 2023. See, companies in across the globe, not only Nigeria, is why when I saw other markets, the results, especially US, I look at that Europe, I look at Asia market, I see some results that came from even from China's company. We saw that there was also improvement. That's why China also just suspended their COVID-19. You see, it's a global thing that even the tension that is going on in Russia and Ukraine, even it's escalating now. Most economy are still fine because if you are seeing a company, still company earnings that are looking good, it's a pointer of what the economies look like. For me, only few companies that have kind of posted the disappointing numbers across the globe, even down here in Nigeria. All this to guide us to know where we should put our attention as to speak now. I saw one of the talk from European market with the HSB Bank, and one of the biggest banks in that domain. We saw a positive number, and for how many years they've not paid dividend. But on the strength of the number they've seen now for Q1, it's important that this bank has followed back powerfully to For me, it's also was also President Matuku also releasing their result. You can see that these numbers are looking good to tell investors where the economy is and or where the company is, because it's every investor is against the future, and we are seeing this positive number is a pointer to what we expected. But yes, because of fear of recession, suggest that if Fed continues to high rate, they know what it will do to the economy. That means that it's possible that it's a pointer that rates kind of normalization will come quickly because of the economy. But I believe that as all eyes are on Fed tomorrow and next tomorrow, but this also is going to go. But as we speak now, we saw that the inflation figure that came from Eurozone also pointed that despite years before now, the European Central Bank has always made kind of a proposal that they're likely to hike their rate 50 basis points, and also coming with inflation figure for the month that God will release today. We saw that inflation has also moved rally to rise towards 7 basis points. That means the 50 basis point interest rate will like, but all these are factors that is likely to work to influence also decision of those Fed and also the ECB. But these are the things more likely that are going to play out in the matured economy. And that's speak now, because of this fear, even in Asia, we're seeing a mixed market also already. But in Africa, the same trend is still to stay, because US stock has kind of move lower ahead of Fed meeting. Even after the first Republic banks, we saw that the price also went lower. And but the big banks in that environment are sure that there's strength and also they are benefit from what from the rate hike. But I tell you that rate hike on the expense of the economy, I think it's a rethink forward for the central banks across the globe. But I feel that this will change the trend of the market as we go into the future. On that note, investors should also watch what is guiding them so that at the end of the day, they're able to make what informed investment decisions. Yet, as we speak, despite the expectation of rate hike and the fear of recession, you can see that the oil price continues to oscillate. As we speak now, oil has slowed down a little, but it's around 79.12 dollar per barrel as we speak now. These are the things that also driving growth. What is happening in Ukraine as we speak now? The escalating situation we're seeing is also going to affect oil price, and even when OPEC has cut production, we're not seeing much impact on the prices of crude oil, and also Russia plan also to cut about 500,000 meter per day. You see that the price of oil have not moved above $80 recently, because it was late. But it's good for economy so that cost of also heating up will also be as high that also trigger inflation. I think that's why you see that the central banks across the world, they are being careful. If a price go up again, shoot up again, inflation rate will continue. Now that is a bit stable and continue to remain at below 80. You can see we're seeing that rate. We're seeing that inflation now gradually across the globe is slowing down. Despite there were some places we're seeing a little spikes here and there, pocket of spike, but I think generally we're seeing a slowdown in inflation. That also is a pointer that if we continue, that the rate hike by the central bank will naturally start coming down. But I believe that these are the things we should watch. But come down here, we'll look at what is happening in our own market. We'll look at how the market fared in the month of April and what was the impact of the last trading week of the month of April on the general performance of April. April will have a lot of holiday in Nigeria. What about just only 16 trading days in that month, and 8 days were in green and not 8 days was in red. But in all, because of high capital weakness, no sell off, and also no high capital, also some of them were adjusted for what for dividend. We saw the life of Total, we saw the advertisement, all of them, most of them were adjusted for dividend. That also affected the market. And at the same time, in that same month, we saw that matured bond also released liquidity to the market, and coupled with payment for dividend, which also provide liquidity. We saw the last trading week for almost 6-7 days, market was in green to close the last day of April was in green, which is good. But at the end of the day, I will tell you that no, this is a signal what we're likely to see in the month of May. I believe that yes, this is the month of transition to another government by May 29, and that also will tell you that if we're transitioning to another government between now and then, we have seen some policies somersault from the outgoing government, putting some policies put on hold, but also the way and the manner the incoming government are going to come with these policies and turn them around to see what they can come out of it. That will also boost confidence. I believe that the incoming government will have sat down with good experts to see what they can do, because they expect to hit the ground running, not to come and tell us they are going to wait for 6 months to appoint ministers. They want to wait for 3 months. I believe that once they come on board, they should know Nigeria problem even when they are campaigning. When they come with that, that will also change the face of our market. But the good thing that we are seeing liquidity in the market, and because market have suffered a pullback correction, most of these prices are low. Look at the fair value of this company. That's why the bargain, the bargain activities that we saw in the last 7 days before today shows that people are taking advantage of that. And also companies that also release dividend, their earnings that come with dividend. We saw some improvement that in some banks result where their payout have changed the narrative of the banks because of what and the number was seen. And also don't forget that the interest rate hike also here also supported the banks, and also their activities of improve or kind of enhance transaction in in online also boosted supported the bank numbers were seen. I believe that these are what's going to play out that, but I believe that also that as we come go into the year, now that they postpone the fuel subsidy removal to either 1 month or 2 months, we expect that if the inflation starts kind of start tapering or start looking southward, it might also trigger the monetary policy to leave rate unchanged at this 18 or start coming down. But going from here to either 18.5 or 19 will be kind of for me, it's suicidal for Nigeria economy. Already the economy is struggling. The growth is so fragile that we can with one policy we can just scatter the recovery that we have seen so far. For me, I feel that the MPC and his team will trade cautious at this time in the next MPC that's coming up this month, being the last MPC for this administration. Before we now start seeing coming from the new government that's coming on board. But I believe that investors should not panic, but take advantage of any correction, because now I believe that as we have seen influx of earnings, Q1 number for last week, being the deadline, we're going to see some between today before the end of the report. I tell you that most analysts and the institutional investors will be doing more diligent on these numbers. We don't see the correction of the market. Anything we have seen that correction in this market today or tomorrow is expected to profit taking for the rally we have seen. And also, once they are done with the analysis, coming back to the market will change the face of the market. But I tell you, the way it's going, it's possible that at the end of the year, 2023 might be better than 2022 in terms of, because if the coming government gets it right and able to put policies and the right people on the right seat and on the right position to mind, if that happens, confidence will be built, and we're just seeing a foreign investor coming, because anybody that comes to be a CBN governor or finance minister should know that these are the things to restructure, to boost confidence, and that will attract funds into the economy. If that happens, you and I that are in the market were likely to benefit from that kind of change. I believe that this is what we're looking at in the next administration, that might see a better economic activities, and that also empower the market. You can't separate the economy from the market. You can see that even with all headwinds we saw in first quarter, look at the results we're seeing. These are pretty good number out there. Yes, there are a couple of disappointing number out there, which is part of the market. For investors, that will tell you where you should put your 10 after looking at this word, this disappointing number. Quick one, before we go to look at the market rate, I want to quickly look at few earnings, that the one that can take us, that will continue next meeting. But I will look at the ones that's available now. I will start with Massad Insurance, AS Massad Insurance. I see that if you look at the figure that they were released by this insurance company, either a composite, they call it a composite insurance company. This is a good number looking at, but we need more improvement on the number. If you look at the gross premium for this company, it moved from 18.74 billion to 20.81 billion. That is just 11% of fine green. We agree, maintain an uptrend. But if you come to see the bottom line, look at also some other income that supported the bottom line, which is PAT. We saw a movement from 464 million to 1.59 billion. That is almost 245% increase. This is good number. There's we saw that there was other income that was that improved higher than the previous year, but from 4 billion to 3.2 billion to about 5.2 billion in this first over 3 months of the year. That also supported this bottom line. We have seen that it moved from 464 million to 1.59 billion. Good for me. This translates to a 20 kobo earning per share for Mansard for the first quarter of 2023. This is a good improvement against 5 kobo recorded in 2022 first quarter. On the strength of Mansard 20 kobo, you can easily forecast that from this strength, we are likely to see an 8 kobo earning per share. If it is sustained, this stock should not say anything less than what? Less than 4 naira, and that tells you that there's high potential in this stock. Especially you can see the factor that goes to support all the insurance company, and I've seen that reflected on the numbers of insurance company. The most 200% increase in their premium is reflecting if this is sustained. And also you can see, look back, you can see that most of them also pay dividend for what? For 2022. You can see that there's a kind of a change because of the recent transaction in the industry, and this also innovation of increasing their worth in their premium. This is going to reflect, and also most of these company, Nigerian insurance company, are now having access to big insurance business that are taking them abroad again. This will support this sector for me. Investors that are thinking medium and long to start building their tent in this kind of companies and also insurance sector at this low price of Kobo Kobo. That also support your portfolio at the end of the day. If you also look at the company profit margin for the period, it moved from 2.45% in 2022 to 7.64. Yes, for me, it's still low. For a good company to say this company must be above 10% profit margin. That means in every 1 naira, you are at least you can save 10 kobo of that. For this one, you can say in every 1 naira, is it 7 kobo? We're going to say this is 4, but I believe that they are moving somewhere after they have done tertiary construction to bring their share in a sizable number. That also we expect to support this company number going to the future. And the good news is that the cash or the operating cash flow for the period also was in the last 3 months was up to about 10.1 billion against 6.8 billion in 2022. You can see this. If you are having a positive cash flow, your earnings looking up, the possibility that you sustain that trend is high, and that is what this cash will tell us, that there is only supporting the earnings we are seeing for that company. The next one there is NGS Group. NGS Group, for me, I'll say it's a disappointing company since it got listed on the exchange. Despite the market operators are the ones supporting the movement in price up and down, there is nothing for investors in this company to rejoice for, because dividend have not been listed, they materialized, and they neutralized and they listed. Nothing has happened so far. But the operators that are the major shareholder, are the one benefiting from it. But for those that also to trade like us that do technicals, you can take advantage. But for those that are looking for income, dividend income, I think here is not where you should look at this point. I will still tell you, even for 2023, the possibility of paying dividend is still very, very slim. The way the numbers is starting for the first quarter of the year, that to be very careful if you are this kind of stock. Yes, we saw that the gross, the revenue for NGS, had a decline of 21% from 1.68 billion in 2022 to 1.33 billion. That is 21% up. And if a company top line is not expanding, whatever you are having at the bottom line is a matter of what? A time. Whether you are adjusting your charts or you are getting other extra income. But what matters is that, are you entering new business? Are you getting new market? That is what investors in NGS should also be very careful about. We traders, yes, we can use our technicals and sentiment to do that. But for those that are looking for income, then this is not the place to be for now until you start seeing more improvement on this company. If you look at the bottom line of this company, yes, we see a missed number. We saw an improvement in their PAT, from we saw where they cut costs and also other income that supported it. That was not from original business. That's why I said the revenue was a decline of 21%, but why the bottom line was up by almost 109%. But for me, it moved from 148 million to 310 million for the company for this period of the first 3 months of 2023. And also, if you look at EPS moved from 7 kobo to 14 kobo, which is good. But then again, you should note here that the cash flow of NGS, as to speak, in the last 3 months is in negative. No, this is not a bank. I told you that when you see a bank, no cash flow in negative, yes, because the nature of their business, they have learned where the income has come, but until they pay for NGS is not a financial institution, that lend. For me, having a negative of 2.9 billion against a positive 2 billion in 2022 is a sign that yes, the number we are seeing, no wonder we are seeing a negative top line. When we are seeing a negative cash flow, it's a matter of time to start reflecting on the earnings. But this for the first we are seeing it. Let's see what happened in the Q2. But it's a sign that you have to very, especially income investors, should play caution with this kind of company. Traders can trade anything. When it comes down, you buy gold. But for those that look for income, you have to trade with caution in this kind of company. The next one there is Fidelity. We are looking at Fidelity Bank Q1 result hit the market over the weekend holiday, and this number also was in line with the earlier one we have seen in their full year. Who tell you that Fidelity is coming out from what? From a trend that investors should market should identify with. Don't forget that they started their interim dividend in 2022 with impressive earnings. That trend is already what we are looking at. The bank trying to maintain. We saw that the gross earning for the first quarter of 2023, they are it moved from 71.53 billion to 101.14 billion. That is 42% in the green. This is above what inflation. Also, you can see that the PAT may move from 9.151 billion to 14.6 billion, which is 64% also in the north, which is good for the market. This translates to a 54 kobo earning per share against a 3 kobo posted in 2022. On the strength of the 54 kobo, can easily say that this company at the end of the year can post an earning per share of 2 naira or 2 naira 10 kobo or 220 conveniently for what for the bank. And if I know a bank that is trading at below 6 naira can post at the end of the year have the 2 naira earning per share, you can see what to pay out. Now we're seeing that the banks payout has been consistent, and even some of them are improving their payout. That is that they are headed somewhere. While the Fidelity paying 40 kobo final dividend plus interim of of 10 kobo, that is huge. That is 50 kobo for the year against the previous year 35 kobo. This is these are interesting things we should see in the banking sector, and the cash flow for this bank remain positive and remain positive is moved up. That's why that is a negative of 54.56 billion against the 12.8. You can see that this bank, and in terms of advances and low, are also playing their role there, and that also can see a profit margin of 15.43% against 13. This is what that means in every 1 naira about 15 kobo is retained as earnings as the profit, sorry, that which is also earning is good for me for what for Fidelity Bank. Finally, before we go into our chart because of our time, which I know our time is fast spent, but we can see what we can do. Let's quickly look at the Zenith Bank P1. P1 for Zenith Bank, I'll tell you this is a good number. And despite the proposed holding company, which I know might likely slow down Zenith Bank earnings, but if they maintain this number we're seeing, because in the result, I said already start putting a group number. If they maintain this, but I believe that they need to also bring new business to their group for them for us to say that they because when you are going into a holding company, you're automatically increasing your cost, and that has the way of also telling on what on your bottom line. So what happened in a GT code, that means you learn from the market, you have a trend to guide you when you are taking your investment decision. If this is number is maintained, and that will be good, but you have to also play with caution. But for those that are income investors, you don't to panic, you are treated there. But for we traders, you might not see kind of a good appreciation for Zenith Bank because of their going to you. But the company fundamentals remain very, very good. But still that they have a good robust balance sheet. For me, there's no cost for alarm for Zenith Bank. The gross earning moved from 191.2 billion to 269.99 billion, 40.2 percent in the green, which is good for Zenith Bank. Also, you can see that the bottom line was still above 10%, that's about 13.42%, to post 60.01 billion against 58.2 billion for what for 2022. That translates to 2 naira 10 kobo earning per share for Zenith. And if Zenith maintain this, like I mean, we're sure getting around there, 8 naira 40 kobo. All this is just protection. But if they sustain it, you can see, and these are banks that are consistent their development, and they are, the percentage of their earnings they pay dividend. And you can see the bank every year as they grow their earnings, even though there's a slowdown, their dividends continue to look in that direction. Even though it's 10 takeable growth, they continue to put their dividend in 10 takeable. There's a time that come, you see you put also at good outpay that will be almost around 70 or 60%. But now consistent every year as they grow their earnings, quarter they grow their earnings, they also grow what their payout. These are the things we also take no, apart from the huge provision they made for last year because of the crash, debt crisis in Ghana, you can see that they've been consistent. Only last year, you can see there was a little slowdown in their what in their bottom line, which at the end of the day will still have a growth in what in payout for shareholders. Now, the bank profit margin stood at 24.45% against 30.4 in 2023. But the good thing is that the core operating cash flow also stood at 160.99 billion from 33 point. You can see no activities that incomes are coming, cash is flowing, and that is good for what for Zenith Bank. Yes, our next topic, our next meeting will start from what from Boa Cement and other cement company. Look at generally the trend we're seeing in that cement industry or industrial goods. We've seen that most of the trading number that came from the big names, Boa, no, um, Dangote and Lafarge, you see the decline in their is it industrial trend? We want to also find out that in our next meeting by God's grace tomorrow. That is what we'll be looking at the end of the day. These are the things. Yes, we'll come back to the market right away because of our time. Let's quickly go to the market and see what is happening in the market. The market at this point, as to speak now, the market is down. But as the market is down, we're looking at to see that market is down by 247 point, 54. That is market is down by almost 0.6 as we speak now. This tells you that the market is still on a sell because the high cost of like like no stock like Geregu is on the loser chart. That has also impacted the market. And also there's a markdown today in the in the share of GT code, NASCOM, and at the same time NEM insurance. These are put pressure on the index as we speak. That's why the index is in red. But I believe that we're seeing good positive market breadth of 16 gainers and 14 losers in this moment. It tells you that investors should just start patient right away and watch what the market is going to do. I told you that this week we're going to see a mixed market because of what most analysts and most institutional investors will be digesting the Q1. But the good thing is that I told you earlier, once you see a positive earnings, what is that the time is just naturally is a sign, a buy signal because what we're seeing that positive earnings will lead to what rising price, while declining earnings will lead to what a declining price. These are simple things to look at. And what are the sectors you want to go? Then you now utilize those that attended the premium class for buy and sell signal and question and answer. We share stock to buy there, so that you go give you a buy rate, you see everything. If you are not in that group, you can also upgrade to be in that group. We also will share more, share here or that will bring guest speaker, also other people in the house will contribute so that we can rub mind together and take informed decision at the end of the day. Yet as we speak now, I told you that they have a 14 losers against 16 gainers. But if you look at the top losers now, we are seeing that Gregu is leading by 10% down, followed by Transcorp, and also we are seeing also Sunan Assurance also on that, and Japo Gold. You can also see International Brewing. These are the losers at this hour. But if you go to the gainer chart, we see that Multiverse, Nigeria Brewing, you can see NACO, Cabaton, and Arrow to Bisco. These are the top 5 gainers. I told you that we have 16 gainers against 14 losers. The market is for me, the bread is still on positive. Yes, the guy is still small, 16 against 14, but still we are seeing that buyers are still in charge of the market as we speak. But we need to look at the volume of trade for today. We see that look at the volume, then at the most active stores, we are seeing that Access Corp is the one leading now. Trade around the 10 naira 50 kobo, having about 56.8 million share traded so far. You can see the life of Coronation Insurance also being about 17.2 million share traded so far. You can see Mansard, 2 naira 40 kobo, 15.52 million share traded so far, followed by UBA 9.5 million share, and GT Code that was adjusted for dividend today. Doing also 9.5 million shares. At this point, tell that there's activity. People are seeing opportunity with this earnings we are seeing. It's important to where the market is heading already. Yes, quick one because of our time. Let's quickly go back to our chart. This chart I want to make it snappy because our time is fast spent. I quickly call out our indicators. Just bear with me because of our time, but I need to discuss other things. Let's quickly go to call up all these indicators up for us to start our discussion. Fine. MACD, money flow, and also our T line. Good one. Quickly make it in the next 3 to 4 minutes. That's what we can cover here before we call it a day. Yes, as we speak, you can see that the market for me is looking good. Now, after the market have suffered a pullback here, we saw that market rebounded and trade above the T line now. Even with the pullback we're seeing because of decline in the price of Geregu and others and the Magna in TB and others, we're seeing that market is still trading above the T line on the daily chart. And MACD have confirmed a positive trend here. You can see it here. And money flow is back to almost 60%. For me, you can see that market money flow is still looking up this morning. Say that there's no activities, people are taking position. That's why that market is in a bit red. But I believe that there's still potential for the market. Any pullback here will add more strength to the market to rebound back in the up direction. That is good. Let's look at what the market is doing in 1 hour to give us a clear direction. On the 1 hour market is also giving a sign of weakness on the 1 hour chart, trading below the T line. On the 1 hour chart, you can see it here, and the volume is still not too attractive in terms of the 1 hour chart. Then we'll see that the market has also confirmed money flow is within 38. This is for the general market as we speak. But because of our time, we'll quickly look at what is happening in NACO this morning. We saw a move of almost 100%, and also look at assets and the Massad before we call it. Let's start with Access Corp. What is happening right now? Let's start with Access Corp. Access Corp. Because of our time, look at what the chart is saying here. On the 1 hour chart, Access is trading above the T line, good, and you can see a good sign here on the 1 hour chart. Access is coming up even when it pull back, after rallying to almost 11 10 80 85. So it pulling back here, profit taking activities. For this hour, no one can see that it's almost catching fire again. We're seeing what this histogram has formed here. You can see also your blue line present. You can see where it is. This also money flow is slow. Let's quickly go back to what a day chart to see what on a day chart you can see a sign of resisting decline. You can see up this morning. For me, MACD is about money flow is just turning up to give the 23 point. For me, once it cross 50, that will be very strong for Access. Yes, because of our time, let's look at what is happening in NACO before we look at Master and see what is happening. This momentum is going to be continued. You can see a strong momentum in Master now. Even when Master try to pull back, you can see the chart you are seeing here, straight one, trading above the T line. You can see where it's crossed the T line, it has been above that. You can see it put almost 13 naira trade at now with almost 10% gain. You can see the volume coming up. Yes, volume have remained below the average, but you can see that it's improving. You can see the volume. Now you can see that MACD have reversed. Even when it was trying to reverse up, for me, it's a good one. And money flow remain above 70, above 50 to read 74 is a good one for the stock. In 1 hour chart, look at what is happening. The same thing in 1 hour chart, already sign also. The sign we're seeing in 1 hour chart also support sign of profit taking. Yes, quickly let me look at this NACO in 15-minute chart to tell us what is it. On 15-minute chart, you can see also there's a sign activity, a good one, but the profit taking activities, you can see it here, but still looking good here. And look at what the money flow is trading almost 45. Good one, but I think there's still potential in NACO. For me, good to go for NACO. Yeah. Yes, finally, just to wrap it up, because my time is fast before they cut me off. I have just a minute. Let's see what is happening in Master as we speak. Let's see what is happening in Master as we speak. But if that for me, we can discuss it more. Master on a 15-minute chart is not looking too good. You can see volume and money flow is down. But let's keep our finger. Let's look at the day chart for Master. And Master is flat on the T line, not below it. And we're seeing that MACD is still bullish, but the money flow is looking down below 50 to 35. Yes, let's watch this talk. So important number from Master. Let's keep our finger crossed on Master. Yes, please, I need to also inform you. Tomorrow, I have a program tomorrow and Thursday. I might not be on live class. Please bear with us. I will not be available for tomorrow and Thursday. But we'll be back hopefully on Friday to look at the market. For another medias, another platform, we'll also be sharing what is happening in the market. See you on Friday, hopefully by the God grace, after my programs tomorrow and next. I say enjoy the rest of your trading day. Bye.